The railroad. Up in the hills of the railroad, you'll find three little engines. A red engine named Stanley and his twin Kate. They're both narrow gauge, but one that works with them is a small engine named Casey Jr. Casey Jr. is a one-of-a-kind engine. He was a custom-built engine, meaning that he was commissioned especially for the railroad. He's named after a railroad worker called Casey Jones. He may look silly, but he's really useful at his job. He was built like that so he could navigate the tight curves in the mountain. Curves that the other engines couldn't make. Stanley and Kate are narrow gauge engines who work in the mountains. Kate is usually pulling passengers, and Stanley pulls freight due to his rough riding. And he usually works at the mine. He would bring stone down to Casey Jr., and they would send it off to the docks. Recently, it had been raining on the railroad, and it wasn't safe for mining, so Casey was assigned to odd jobs until it was safe to start work again. One of these jobs was helping around the works. One rainy afternoon, Casey rolled into the works to deliver some parts. All of them was there, still being repaired. Afternoon, 11. How are you feeling? Awful. I haven't moved in days. I'm bored out of my mind. What'd you guys do with my tender? I feel naked without it. Oh, it's being scrapped. We're building you a new one. Oh, come on, that's my tender. You could at least ask me first. The back of it was smashed to bits by a tree. Of course you had to build you a new one. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just in a bad mood. Why? I keep having this same nightmare. What about? I'm inside this shed surrounded by a bunch of scrap metal. And an engine to my right, and in front of me is this weird looking train. What did it look like? It had a long, flat top. Didn't have a funnel, only a large claw that made awful creaking sounds, and it was roaring like a lion. It looked at me. It looked more like a coach than an engine. And the scary part, whenever I turn on my headlamp, I see what's left of its face. It's just a huge gaping maw ready to crush me with its razor-sharp teeth. And then I wake up. Casey had no idea how to respond, so we just went back to work. Later that day, he was out and about again, taking freight up to the shunting yard. Todd saw him. Hey, you're the engine who took 11 to the works, right? Yes, I am. Is he okay? What's his condition? Is he going to be scrapped? Jesus, man, calm down. He's alright. Why are you so stressed about it? I just feel as if I got off on the wrong foot with him. I don't want him to not like me, so the first thing he does when I get his get back is I'm going to apologize to him because I don't feel like we started off correct. Good thing he's not being scrapped. Where'd you get an idea like that? I don't know. I keep having this weird dream every few days or so. What's it about? It's about 11. He's in a shed surrounded with scrap metal. Something in front of him, like a monster or something. I don't know how to describe it. Every time I have that dream, I always wake up in a cold sweat. Casey paused and looked up at the big engine. He just puffed away, needing time to think about what just happened. Casey's next job was to deliver some equipment to the logging works. While he was puffing up, he kept saying to himself, "It's so weird. Two engines having the exact same dream? That's creepy." Casey puffed into the docks, picked up some lumber equipment, and took it up to the logging works, where he saw Ferdinand. "Hey, Ferdinand, how are the twins getting along?" "Oh, they're doing fine. I don't see much of them now, because they're always up in the forest with the tree cutters, far away from here." "Oh, that's a shame. I'm convinced the isolation will get to them sooner or later, but at least they have some friend out there." The workers? No, I'm not talking about them. They tell me that there's a deer that always comes by when they're working. All I can think of. What's wrong with that thing? What do you mean? A deer that's not scared of loud machinery? That deer is not right in the head. Well, that sounds interesting. I think I might go up and at least say hi. Tell him I said hi too. On his way up, it got dark. It got so dark he couldn't see what was up ahead of him. Up the line, he saw a silhouette of a deer standing on the track. Casey didn't want to hurt the deer, so he stopped. Shoo! Off the rails! The deer stared at him with no reaction. Shoo! Off the tracks! I need to get home! Please move!
Your mother sucks cocks in hell!
Casey was in shock. His eyes were wide with fright. He didn't know how to respond. The deer started to make loud cracking sounds, as if the bones were breaking out of place. In a matter of only seconds, the deer didn't look much more like a deer anymore. It looked more like a monster. Without a second thought, Casey shot backwards as fast as he could. Monster! There's a monster! Help! Someone help! It's gonna crush me down! Help! Crazy ass. Please, someone help! It's gonna crush me down! Crunch me down until I'm unrecognizable! Casey was horrified. He didn't slow down for anything. He shot past stations, up hills, over bridges, through tunnels, with no intent of stopping. Eventually, he did stop. Well, with some help. Oh, what's that about, man? Are you good? It turned to some... It was big. Calm down. Take a deep breath. Tell me what happened. I think I saw the monster from your dream.